Welcome to the Beyond the Statement workshop series. Today we're focused on who are diversity and inclusion commitments for. This is going to be a good one because a lot of people are trying to figure out what is a commitment. Do we really need one as an organization? We're going to talk about it during this workshop. Always, my statements and my opinions are my own. Our goal for this workshop session, we're going to identify who are diversity and inclusion commitments for. This is a good one. Understand what the goal. By the end, we should have met that goal, answered that question if we were posing questions by the end of the workshop. In this workshop, there is no suspense. We're going to get to the point. Who are diversity and inclusion commitments for? Your organization. I'm done. Thank you for tuning. I'm joking. I'm not done. It's for your organization. Every organization should have a diversity and inclusion commitment. Chris, you keep saying commitment. We have these plans in place. We have policies and procedures. Commitments are different. A plan, according to Webster's dictionary, to arrange parts of, to devise, or to have in mind. That's all a plan is. It's kind of like some thoughts. Think about it. We plan to work out, or we plan a summer vacation, or we plan with an organization for something new. We plan for our students when they come back. We plan for new programs. That doesn't mean you're going to do them because, everyone says, Chris, plans do change. That's why I'm not calling these diversity and inclusion plans. I'm calling them diversity and inclusion commitments. Because a commitment, according to Webster's dictionary, is an agreement or pledge to do something in the future. I'm going to put a caveat. I'm going to child's definition. A commitment is agreement or plan to do something in the present and or future. Because when you say future, a lot of people are like, perfect. It gives us a buyout. We have time. We're going to put some present or in the future. Present and or in the future. That's a commitment. Is your organization that claims to care about diversity and inclusion, especially the organizations that had all these great anti-racism statements, these PR statements, are you willing to commit to change, or you just want to, talk the talk? Getting quiet. It's getting real quiet. Does your organization really want to showcase what they value through their actions? Or are they just If they don't have a commitment, your organization is all talk. Yeah, I said it. If your organization does not have a commitment in writing, in place, it's talk. Think about how many times you send out an email so it's not a paper trail. People, hey, let me call you on the phone. Because they don't want to commit to it. But when you put it in writing, you put it on paper, you make it publicly facing, guess what? We gotta hold ourselves accountable to it. Think about what we put in place for example, in the K-12 setting, we put standards in place. Why? Hold you accountable. In the corporate setting, we got all these policies and procedures in writing. Why? Hold us accountable. What about that diversity and inclusion commitment? Most anti-racism statements that came out, did he actually have, I even give them this, did they have plans in place? Did they have commitments in place? Or was it just a bunch of, hey, we're gonna, we're with the movement? I saw very few, I don't want to say I didn't see any, because I saw so many, that actually said, these are some steps we're about to take. Chris, we needed to pull together a planning committee. You don't have to pull together a planning committee when you're creating, if in the corporate setting, a new product. Or let me rephrase it. Yes, we do. Okay, I'll give you that. You create it, but guess what? You're going forward with that project because this is the CEO's initiative. We got to do it. Has your organizational leader put out a diversity and inclusion initiative? In the K-12, I'm delineating the two worlds because what happens, people say, corporate is different from K-12 and K-12. In K-12 setting, when your leader, let's say your superintendent, your state board of education, they say, hey, this is what we're about to do. I'm just giving you some wait time. I'm pausing. No one says, hey, okay, let's, we got to figure it out. That's what everyone says. Okay, we got to figure it out. But what about that? Have they put forth a diversity and inclusion commitment? That's a yes or no question. This is beyond a statement. All those statements, I can't think of it. In graduate school and undergrad, there's a software you use. I'll think of it, and I'm just going to post it on the screen, where you run your paper, turnitin.com, turnitin.com. This is not an endorsement. Turnitin.com. I want to take all these PR statements, put them into all of them, put them into turnitin.com, and just check for how many of the words were reused over and over. Because a lot of the same PR firms create them all. Just being honest. A lot of PR firms create them. It'd be funny just to see they use these were the key words. These are the boilerplate statements. Here's an example. Here are the 2020 federal holidays. With these holidays, through the lens of diversity and inclusion, I want you to notice and I want you to wonder. What do you notice? And go beyond. These are great American holidays. Go beyond that. What do you notice about them? And what do you wonder? I give you some moment. Theme music. With our federal holidays, what is purposely included and what is purposely not included as it relates to diversity and inclusion? Is this an assimilation model? And get out of the, Chris, this is America. Everyone should believe in these. But who are we excluding in the thought pattern of these federal holidays? Especially now, let's go to some of the private owned entities. You can create, in a sense, some of your own holidays. What culturally relevant holidays have you developed within your organization? It's getting quiet. Come on, give me some feedback. There's no mandate that you can't celebrate other things if you care about diversity and inclusion. All right, here's an example. Here's an example of a holiday across America that is big time. Whether you're in corporate, whether you're in K-12 schools, starting in November nowadays. Merry Christmas. We got to celebrate Christmas. We're going to have our annual Christmas party. We're going to do this for Christmas. I had these great Christmas activities I found on Pinterest for my students. As a leader, this is one of the holidays I hold value and, dear to me. Do all of your employees celebrate Christmas? Around that time of the year, there are other cultural holidays that others celebrate. Do you say, well, Chris, we honor everybody, but this Christmas day we hold dear. But here's my question. Do you provide the same energy and opportunities equivalent to your Christmas celebrations? Man, it's getting hot in here. It's getting quiet. And I'm just using Christmas as the holiday because that's one that, I just see so many things happening and I'm thinking just how many people are being left out. Or if you don't want to be left out, you have to assimilate to the dominant culture in that moment. And is that fair? Is that fair? It's getting quiet. Man, it's getting quiet. Testing 1, 2. Mic still working? Testing 1, 2. I'm giving you a quick, because everyone's going to say, I talk about the topics no one wants to talk about. We're going to talk about politics quickly. November 2020, we have a big election coming out. And we make every major candidate essentially say they have these Christian values. because we got to have a good Christian there. I'll give you some data, and I'm going to leave you alone. 2/3 of the world's population do not identify as Christian. What does that mean? 1/3 identify as Christian, 2/3 do not. We love to say majority rules. If that's the case, the Christian faith is in the minority. Now, quote Chris, now look, I'm okay, but you're talking about religion. Understand, we must develop diverse and inclusive environments. Religion is one of the things we need to discuss. And I'm not saying convert someone one way or the other or make them believe what you believe. I am saying have dialogue to have a better understanding. That's it. I'm not saying be for or against anyone's religion. But if we better understood others' religious beliefs or non-religious beliefs, it creates a better environment. No, not even a better environment. It creates a better you, especially as a leader. Because when you're doing things, you will begin to honor where others come from and what they believe. I didn't say you have to believe it, but you can honor and value it with the same vigor that you value what you care about. I know some people are going to say, Chris, I love that, Merry Christmas thing, but we say Happy Holidays. Question. This is just a question. Does Happy Holidays mean we do an umbrella just so we can accomplish everything? Or is Happy Holidays a cop-out so we don't have to acknowledge anyone? Good. That was good. You see, I put my serious face on. Now, back to our goal. Identifying who are diversity and inclusion commitments for. I said they're for your organization. I'm going to break it down. Diversity and inclusion commitments are for organizations seeking to authentically build a culture that leverages every individual's passion, commitment, innovation, and elevates employee engagement and empowerment. Every organization loves to boast and brag about, we value everyone. You're not just a number here. But if you're making them assimilate, as opposed to building upon the rich experiences that they bring into your organization, you don't value them. Do you value the system within your organization more than you value the person? Leaders, I'm asking you, think about it. Think about things that you have in place. Are they designed to maintain the systems that you have in place? Or are they designed to build upon the people who make the organization run? Something to think about. I keep talking about these diversity and inclusion commitments. Here are the 4 pillars of the commitment. There's some more pieces, but these are the mini workshops. I'm not giving you the whole, I couldn't even, all these great stories I do in analogies, I couldn't even give you one in the moment. I think of one later, don't worry. 4 key pillars. You want to identify a goal. What is the rationale for the commitment? What are the action steps? And what's the timeline? That's the pillars. As an organization, as an organizational leader, this is what I need you to do present, not just in the future. What is your goal? What is the rationale for that? What are your action steps and what's going to be your timeline? Chris, we need to do some grassroots stuff. We need to do some surveys, et cetera, et cetera. I'm with you. But time waits for no one. If you think back to all of the employees that have left, or you think back to your employees now that are purposely excluded from opportunities, you know it. A lot of things you've heard about, you may have tuned them out. You can develop a goal, right? One goal. I'm not saying all of you can develop one goal right now. Every leader, you've heard something that shook you to the core, but you said, let me sweep that under the rug. The funny part about all these beyond these statements that came out, all these things that happened, people, black and brown people have been saying these things for years. Nothing is new. Nothing new is being said right now. Nothing new is being said, right? Nothing new is being said, right? It's the same crap that's been going on throughout years. I don't want to say throughout eternity is not the word. I study history, so I can't say eternity. For years within organizations, this crap has been going on. And leaders have matched it under, for the organization say, no, it's time. If you care, I give you an out. Because my next step now, as I talk to organizational leaders, I ask you a simple question. Do you care or do you not care? And the reason I ask, if you say you care, I'm going to hold you accountable. If you say you don't care, I'm going to say, pleasure meeting you. I'm going to let people know you don't care because we got to be authentic and honest who we are. Why, if you do not care, are you impacting students as a leader or as an organization? Again, I go back to, I care about the students. I ride or die for students. When I get into meetings, I don't come in with Dr. Christopher Childs. No, how is this going to best improve students? And when I answer that question, I go full tilt. Back to diversity and inclusion commitments. You need to identify a goal, rationale, action steps, and timeline. Homework. Individually. You've done some great homework. This is another great homework assignment. Identify the federal holiday you know the least about and study its historical origins. Use non-mainstream sources. Pick any federal holiday. Find out why pick any holiday. Pick any federal holiday. Find out why we celebrate it. But learn about its historical origin. I say use non-mainstream sources. I give you a hint on the holiday. Christopher Columbus. That's, great holiday. If you use mainstream sources, it's going to paint a rosy narrative of who Christopher Columbus was. But if you study some authentic sources, you're going to find a lot about Christopher Columbus. This is one of my favorite quotes, and I read it verbatim because some people are like, if you're a favorite, you should know it by heart. I should. But this is one, some stuff I can ad-lib, this one I would refuse to. The reason I want you to study non-mainstream sources is because of this. Until the lion tells his side of the story, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. Think about who is and who is not writing these narratives. Think about who is and who is not writing these textbooks that students are reading. Oh, all right. Don't go to authors now, Chris. That's a sticky topic. But if it's not diverse and inclusive writing teams, guess whose narratives are being purposely left out? Man, I can hear a pin drop. I'm in the studio and I can hear a pin drop. Organizationally. Sometimes I give you some things to study. No, this is something to do. Beginning summer 2020, institutionalize unconscious bias training. That's a commitment right there. I notice how I set you up what a commitment is. I talked about having a goal, talked about having a rationale, talked about having action steps in the timeline. I just gave you one. What's our goal? We're going to institutionalize unconscious bias training. What's our rationale? We know there are bias that exists within an organization. We know, be honest, we have some possible, I say possible because no one wants to admit we have a racist employees. We do, but you can say, we have some possible racist employees. We have some instances of some harassment that in terms of race or gender, or other sexual orientation also. I'm not excluding those, or it could be religion. That's just some rationale. Your action steps. It says institutionalize. Not just, here's the thing. Right now, in the next 30 days, someone's going to sign a contract within your organization for some professional development or professional learning. Or you're going to get an email from them. Are they going to do one that directly talks about the anti-racism statement they put out? Or are they going to do one that specifically addresses diversity and inclusion? Here's one. And when you institutionalize it, it's not one of those, hey, who has some computer software we can implement? No. just with the same vigor you do your other trainings, you institutionalize this and it's ongoing. It becomes a way of life where people know within your organization, all right, we take this serious here. We actually care about diversity and inclusion. Put it on the table. Everyone has a bias. Everyone has some bias. You have a bias watching this video. As leaders, how do you begin to unpack them and help your organization improve as a whole through implementing unconscious bias training? And this is a minimal step. No, we started this training, Chris, is everything. No. This is just giving you an exemplar. That's one of the words we use. But this is something everyone should start this summer if you care about diversity and inclusion. I keep putting the onus back on you if you care, because if you don't care, your actions are going. First, you may or may not tell me, but your actions are going to show me. This has been the Beyond the Statement mini workshop, and we focused on in this workshop, who are diversity and inclusion commitments for? They're for your organization. See you in the next workshop.